In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact process on how you can start and scale your Google Performance Max campaigns so that you can start getting a maximum return on your investment for your advertising. Now, I'm inside of one of my clients' accounts, and you can see on the 4th of March, we've been launching Performance Max campaigns all the time. And this campaign got 2,500 impressions. The average cost per click is $1.35. It costed the client $55.19 to spend on advertising for that day. They had a 2.44 conversion rate, and they generated a conversion value of $1,457.97, which means that for every dollar they put into Google, they generated $26.42 back over one conversion. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how you can also get those same results with your Google ads and how you can incorporate retargeting, incorporate Google display, incorporate YouTube ads, all within one campaign. Okay, so without further ado, if you haven't heard of me, my name is Matthew Garris. I run a company called The Business Builders. We basically create and sell turnkey e-commerce brands for aspiring entrepreneurs. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So I'm inside of just basically a blank Google ad account. And the first thing you want to do is click this blue button to click new campaign. And then from there, you're going to have to click the objective. Now, generally, I just put sales or no guidance. It doesn't really matter. But you want to make sure that the conversion tracking for purchases has been set up. The next thing that you want to do is you want to choose the different type of campaign. Now, I'll run you through all the different types because I think it's really important when it comes to the Performance Max. So the first type of campaign is Google Search. Now, Google Search is probably the oldest and the most successful of all of the different campaign types when it comes to majority of businesses. When it comes to e-commerce, shopping has been the most successful. Search is essentially when you go to search something in the search bar, and then there's the text ads. Those are search campaigns. Shopping, self-explanatory. When you click the shopping button or you click in a product name and then the images with the pricing pop up, that's Google Shopping. That is predominantly for e-commerce and makes the most amount of money for e-commerce. You got demand gen, not so popular, but basically it's a combination of YouTube, Discover, and Gmail. So actually native inside of your Gmail account. Then you've got display. Display reaches 3 million sites and apps, which is pretty incredible. It's got a massive range, and it's essentially images, predominantly only images and a little bit of text on a variety of different websites. And then you've got video, which is YouTube. Okay, YouTube is massive. And so the reason why I'm running you through all the different options is because Performance Max does it all. So it does everything within one single campaign. So it can go all throughout the internet. It can do search, shopping, demand gen, display, and video all within one. So we're going to select Performance Max. You want to select your Merchant Center account. Now, Merchant Center, if you haven't set that up, is essentially a place where you can get your products approved before it goes to Google. Okay, so we would have normally selected a Merchant Center account, and then from there we want to name it. So you want to name it Performance Max, and then you want to put your target ROAS here and your target return on ad spend, and then you want to probably put your target ad spend per a day or per month, whatever you prefer, just a kind of different metrics. And then something I like to put in there is the date. So 14/03/2025, close bracket, continue. Oh, it's forcing me to choose one. We'll just go with this one. Start now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to be confronted with is the bidding strategy. Now, we've tested so many different types of bidding strategies. Generally, I would just go with conversion value and I'll go for my target ROAS. And I generally put a target ROAS of 2,500 if it's going to be profitable for the business. If you do put like 10,000, for example, then generally you're not really going to get a lot of spend, a lot of traction. So I would start with 2,500 and then we'll go from there. Now, if you're a brand that has a big brand awareness and everyone knows your brand, you generally want to avoid optimizing for existing customers because people are going to be typing in your brand name. So I would click this, but if not, if you're a completely new brand, just leave this empty. And then I would select the country that you want to be targeting. I believe you can do postcodes and cities and regions pretty easy. Then from there, you want to just check over these things and make sure it all looks normal. But essentially, we want to, most of the time, want to take these off. But essentially, this is pretty self-explanatory. If you wanted to exclude some brands, you can here. That's all fine. So the next thing that you can do is you can put in your URL. This is just a random URL I've put in here. And then you can put in the types of products and services that you want to advertise. So you can actually go through and type in a list of the types of products. Then you can also pop in a description. Now, this is AI generated, so just look over it before you click generate assets. But essentially now, once we go to the asset generation and actually start building out our ads, it's going to use this information. So it's really important that it's a little bit accurate. Okay, so then here you've got your asset group. Your asset group is essentially where all of the information that you're going to be advertising is going to be placed. Okay, so from here, you want to make sure that you put in your business name. So let's go with Better Guts as an example. Then from here, you want to upload some logos. So making sure you're adding a really nice and square and a rectangle logo. I don't know the dimensions by heart. Throw stones at me if you need to. Then from there, you want to make sure that you've got every single headline added. So 15 out of 15. And you can see you want to add this and you want it to be at least good or excellent. Now, from here, we've got our headlines, we've got our long headlines, and it's telling us we need to add images and videos. Now, obviously, for the example, I don't have any images or videos, but it's going to generate some AI ones. So we're just going to select these just for the sake of the example. Okay. Obviously, you want to have products, images of your product and the benefits of your product. Okay. So you want to be adding images of your product for retargeting and all those kind of things. You want to make sure it's nice and it kind of presents your brand really well. You don't want to be adding like just a photo of someone with like, if this is a snoring product, you don't want to be having people with like the pillow over their head. That doesn't really communicate the benefits of your product or even the features. It'd be better to have even like crappy features of your product than to have this type of image, a free stock image. So essentially you want to have, people using your product, users actually happy with the product, that kind of thing. So user-generated content is probably going to be the best for this. Videos, keep the videos under 30 seconds, more like your ads. So if you're ever running Facebook ads, then you want to pop the same ads that are highest performers inside of here, which would be advantageous. But if you don't have those, that's perfectly fine. You might just want to add some 30-second videos of, user-generated content, similar to the kind of stuff you'd find on TikTok and on Instagram. Leave site links empty. You can keep this automated. I normally just try to find the shop now button and go shop now because that's what we want people to do. The next thing that a lot of people get caught up with is the signals. Now, signals is basically the same thing as saying interest targeting. There's a variety of different ways that Google allow you to target your customers. So the first one is themes. So let's say, for example, we're selling a snoring product because, that's what the images were popping up with. We would go snoring, help snoring. A more accurate way to do this would be to get out of here and then go to Google Keyword Planner and find out all the keywords people are searching for on snoring, and I would pop those all into there. So if you're not aware, you can actually go here and you can go straight into Keyword Planner from here. So you can go here, go Tools, and then it will be, they keep moving it around, but Keyword Planner under Planning. And then from here, you can click Discover, and let's go to the US. We'll remove Australia, and then we'll go to snoring, get results. And here you can find all of the keywords. So from here, I would probably look at exporting. You can even download this list onto a Google Sheet. Life has really not gotten that much easier. You can download a CSV, download that out, and pick 25 that you believe would most align with your brand. Then from here, we're going to pop those keywords back into here, and that's it for there. So then from this point, you would, if you have existing data, so if you're an existing brand, you can upload your existing data. So generally, you can upload a lookalike audience equivalent on Facebook and all of those different existing data to help Google find your ideal customer a lot faster. So that will be your data. Unfortunately, because this is a brand new ad account, I don't have much to show you there. But then we've got additional signals. Now, additional signals, there's the first one is interests. So this is there's a few different types that you can go with, but essentially if you browse, there is these options. So in market is essentially people that are in the market for a particular thing. Life events is targeting people by where they're at. So they might be newly married or recently someone passed away in the family, home renovation. You can see job change, moving, new pet, purchasing a home. You can see how powerful this could be if you were looking to target people that you wanted to sell pet products, targeting people that have a new pet. You're selling furniture. You want to be targeting people that are purchasing a home. If you're selling retirement packages or something regarding to retirement, you'd be targeting these guys. University graduation, targeting younger people. So you can really get granular with your targeting. So that's the first thing. You've got in market, you've got life events, then you've got detailed demographics. I generally leave this open because I don't believe it's that accurate. But then you've got affinity. Affinity is pretty powerful as well. It's basically buckets of people that are basically interested in these things. So, for example, if you knew that you were selling sports goods like gym equipment, then you would target people that are into sports equipment. So you can see people grouped by their hobbies, habits, and preferences related to sports and fitness. So they're generally targeting fans and people that are following different channels. So this is at the highest level of smart AI. Then you've got custom interest, which is going to be keywords. So you can actually just target people by what they're actually interested in. Okay. So that's essentially most of the targeting. Then from there, once you've selected your targeting, so let's going to go through and let's do a snoring. Let's see if I can find anything on snoring. Or let's go sleep. Oh, apnea. Nothing. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a hard example. Let's go fitness. So there's a lot there in fitness. Be hard if you're a snoring brain. You might have to just go with keyword targeting and theme targeting with those keywords that I've showed you before. That might be easier. But if you're selling something that's got a large appeal, a very broad appeal like fitness, then you've got a lot of in market. You've got a lot of affinity. And all these different things. So you've got a lot of targeting here. So you can see the targeting is only getting better on Google as opposed to Facebook is slowly phasing out interest targeting, but on Google they're bringing out interest targeting. So they want you to get granular. Okay. So and then from there, once you've decided, you can then decide on your daily budget. I recommend a daily budget of at least $50 to $100 if you want to actually see some results. But if you wanted to see results over a 30 to 60 day span, you could spend, $10 to $20 a day. That's fine. But if you're a brand that's serious about seeing the results of Google, I would go for a budget of at least 50 to 100 if it's within you guys and your budget. So then from here, you've selected all the details and you're ready to get started. So from here, I would recommend just looking over all the details here and making sure that it ticks all of our boxes. And then once you're happy with all the details that you see in front of you, you can then click launch. It's not allowing me to because number one, this account isn't active because it's just an example. And I've also haven't selected a location. But generally there's going to be a button to click launch and then you should be ready to go to the races. Now, this is the exact process that I've used for this client that I've showed you here that has generated, $1,400, a little over $1,400 with $55 in ad spend. It's an extremely powerful model. It allows you to then get real granular and then start to scale. And this is the next part of what I wanted to show you was how do we scale? Once we've launched our campaign, so once we've launched this campaign, how are we scaling this campaign? We scale it simply by products. So what you would do is you would then go here and then go to products. And once you've clicked products, you're then going to see all the products and the brands that separate the conversion. So you might have, let's say you have 1,000 products and 200 products of those are performing extremely well. So what you want to do is you want to consider whether there's a certain category that splits those up. So let's say, for example, we're selling fitness equipment. Let's say the dumbbells are selling like crazy and the kettlebells are selling like crazy. What you want to do is you then want to duplicate this Performance Max campaign, separating those two products into their own campaign with their own budget. So you would go from one campaign for all products. Then you'd have a second campaign with just dumbbells and a third campaign, sorry, with just kettlebells. So now you're going from spending $50. I would be spending $100 on both of those because we have proof of concept, we have validation based on prehistoric data. I would then go from spending $50 a day to $250 a day. This will allow us to then scale the existing products that are working extremely well, and while still continuing the existing performance of all the other products that are still doing okay, but they're not doing as well. We want to allocate budget to the winners and cut out the losers. And that is my process in 15 minutes of how we start and how we scale Performance Max campaigns. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, if you have a question, comment down below. If not, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.